I'm gonna come again, but this time I'm gonna goon because I watched a movie, right? I watched a movie and I saw a titty within the first fucking 10 minutes. So
Your
today-
pants are already
today
ruined.
we're talking about the tale of Princess Kaguya on the Weekly Weaves podcast, and yes, we did see a titty within the first 10 minutes, and that is the first thing I want to talk about. How do you guys feel about seeing a titty? Like, I did not expect that.
Well,
So straight up titty, straight
One,
up tit.
I kind of expected it, given the art style of the show, to be in that older genre, like that
You
older
expected-
generation of
be-
like
You expected a movie.
It's like the
Japanese
scroll
culture.
art.
yeah,
Yeah,
but you just expected to see a titty get whipped out.
Scroll arts have titties.
I
They
just
don't-
did. I
they
did
don't
not
give a shit about
expect
that.
it.
Also, I need to still get my stuff for One Punch Man because I wasn't here last week.
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh
you're
yeah,
right.
talk,
you're right.
talk about One Punch
All
Man.
right, yeah, but we'll get back to the titty in a minute.
You were the only one who hadn't seen it, and you were the only one who
Who was
wasn't
also
here
gone?
last
That
week. I assigned it for you, Crimson, for you.
Yeah, well, I watched it and then COVID got
Yeah,
me.
stop getting COVID. It's 2024.
That was my second time ever getting it, and the first time might not even have been like an official COVID. So.
I don't even know if I've ever gotten it.
I don't know if
I've
I
never
have.
tested positive, so
I've
Knock
never
on
tested
wood.
I'm
for
gonna
it.
assume
So-
that's never happened.
I'm pretty sure I've gotten it.
No, I really liked One Punch Man. I liked that. I thought that the trope of the overpowered hero was going to be annoying, but it wasn't. It was so funny, and it was so fucking cool.
You've watched Mashal.
He wasn't one punching everybody.
Yeah,
He's the trope of an overpowered hero.
This show does overpowered hero better than literally any other show.
Well, it's because it's
Yeah.
a show that gets the joke. Like
Yeah.
every other show that does that type of thing is like trying to make it seem like it's cool.
Mhm.
It's just like, oh, he's overpowered, and he gets, and he's able to one-shot everything. That's definitely not an allegory for my school bullies back in the day. And he also gets all the bitches, and where it's just like, nah, it's just some fucking dumbass. And it's just
Who's
some-
just so bored.
he's just so bored because he kills everything in a single shot.
Yeah, no, that was great. I thought that was so funny.
The series starts with him one-punching naked Piccolo,
Yeah,
He's just
actually voiced by Chris Sabat.
And he's just
Yeah.
like, God damn it.
not again. No, the show was really good. I might end up watching the other two seasons, given if I get the time to.
Well,
It
season
is
3's not out yet.
well,
season 2
season
is
2
out,
at least.
and it's better than season 1.
Yeah, I
You're gonna fuck
definitely,
with Goro.
I
Pretty hard.
definitely want to watch season 2. I just gotta get that time of when I can watch season 2 because there's a lot of shows that I have to like watch the next season of or get caught up on that I just have not been able to do.
I might reassign, or I might assign season 2 a little later down the road.
Oh, there you go.
Because the only reason I only did season 1 was because of
It's
time.
that pouty fern.
If if time wasn't an issue, I would have just assigned both seasons
Yeah.
like I did with Mob Psycho when
Yeah.
it was just 2 seasons.
And that's kind of like I said, that's kind of the thing is just finding the time to really do that. Like I think being able to watch more anime with Erica has helped a lot with that. Because then, like, if there is an anime assignment that I think she'll like,
Mhm.
that one of us assigns, and I can watch it with her as well, and like we can do we can watch during dinner and like the rest of the evening, so we can knock out a good chunk of episodes.
And
But
still spend time together.
Look at all these
Yeah.
fucking couple activities. Ew.
Yeah, what a loser.
they're weeby couple activities. Fuck you.
Ew.
But no, I did enjoy the show a lot, and I look forward to watching season 2.
I asked you this off air, but I'll ask you this again. Who's your favorite hero, and why is it Moomin Rider?
I don't.
Is it not moving?
I'd have to go through. I'd have to go through all the heroes
not, it's
again
wrong.
to really give a definitive answer because it has already been like at least 3 weeks now. Like this would
Yeah.
be week number 3 since watching it.
Yeah.
So I'd have to definitely go through it again and kind of get that refresher.
Well, I mean,
Genos is so fucking funny though because he's like so strong. He's like, but master, I need your advice, and he's
He's the
he's
straight
funny
man. It
and
works
so
out.
stupid at the same time.
yeah, he's very serious. And it's just,
He's seriously stupid.
yeah.
Who is this
but-
small, obnoxious child here?
Yeah.
Oh man, the last
The scene with
episode-
Moomin Rider though, when he was trying to beat up the fish guy, that was
the
really
d-
cool. That
yeah,
was
the
a cool
deep sea
scene.
king.
That's why.
Yeah.
Justice Punch.
That's why he's the coolest dude.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember. This is a poll from I don't know, like season 2 of our podcast.
Oh God.
I did the topic was if you could take a power from one character and give it to another character in a different
I remember
universe.
that.
One for all, I gave that to Moomin Rider because he's the most deserving.
Yeah.
Damn right.
That's fair.
Hell yeah.
Like, dude stays in C class on purpose to keep doing the quota because he's a real hero.
Yes. Respect to him.
He's
Yeah.
just that guy, bro.
So I'll just do a quick run through of the of what my ratings were. I'm not gonna really go into the nitty gritties.
His real favorite hero is Purry Purry Prisoner.
No,
Makes
that
sense.
guy fucking annoyed me. He was hilarious, but man, personal enjoyment.
I broke out of prison just to see you.
Personal enjoyment, I gave a 9. Animation, I gave a 9. Character development, I gave an 8. Soundtrack, I gave an 8. World building, I gave a 9. Plot, I gave an 8. Voice acting, performance, I gave a 9. Art style, 9. Uniqueness, 6. Recommendation, 9 for a total of 84. I think uniqueness is probably going to be my lowest score on it because, like, even though it is that, like, trope of the most strong, like, the powerful, like, main character, it is a superhero show that we have seen, like, several times in the past. It, you know, the trope of the overpowered protagonist is something that's always been there.
There's
But I mean, the average now is 86.
There's only one score on your scorecard that I vehemently disagree with.
And that would be?
The fact that you didn't put soundtrack as a 10.
So here's my thing.
Because the opening is amazing. The soundtrack during the show is amazing.
The soundtrack during the show is good. I think the problem, like, I did enjoy the intro. Not as much as I thought I would, though. And I think most of that is just my own personal preference of music. Like, I did enjoy the intro,
you like
but...
idol music.
I what?
You like idol music?
Yeah, but... I mean...
That's my boy.
I'd like a wide genre, like a wide variety of genres. I just think, like, that one, like, it was good. It fit the show. I just think for my own, like, personal, like, taste, it just wasn't, like... fully there. It was still good. It just for me personally,
that
it
shit
just
went
could
right on my Spotify playlist.
That's fair.
Oh, that's been on there. That's been on there, bro.
Yeah, I'm talking about when the show came out.
Oh yeah, same. That's been on there.
So that's my kind of stuff on One Punch Man. Now we can talk about Titty.
Hell yeah, titties. So you guys expected to see titty?
Yeah, with the style of
I
animation.
didn't expect it, but I wasn't, surprised by it.
Would you suck on it?
I was like, well, hi there.
Yes, and also like I wasn't very surprised about Titty because again, one, given that where the era of this movie takes place, it does make sense because it's more like that feudal Japan, like the old era of Japan. So that does make sense.
Also, it's a Ghibli movie. Like this is the same guy that has a movie with raccoons flying with their ball sacks.
That is true.
About to say it, like, was everybody in feudal Japan just naked most of the time? Because good lord.
I think a lot. Well, I think a lot of it is because
hot
I
summers.
respect it.
yeah, I would say I think a lot of it also has to do with like in feudal Japan, like obviously the way like the different materials that they had back in that time was way different than what we had, and that this could have
Heavier,
been
like probably sweating their asses off all the time.
Yep, and then during the summer they probably have to wear fewer layers because they didn't have like air conditioning, they didn't have ways to really cool down and stuff like that.
It's 2024, and I'm naked as often as I can be. So
It's 2024, and I'm naked and afraid. No,
if I didn't have a roommate, I would be naked almost all the time when I'm at home.
that's valid.
Your best friends. Why is that stopping you?
Out of respect for him.
I'll just wake up sometime and just like walk in my kitchen butt ass naked and just fucking.
Yeah,
Chilling in a hot tub 6 feet apart because we're not gay.
Oh God, they were gay.
So yeah, I mean, I said it. I think I told you this last night when we were at the play, but I'll say it again. And maybe it could just been a fever dream that I just said out loud.
You said the out loud part quietly.
At first, I was hesitant on the animation for this, and then it grew on me, and I ended up really fucking loving it.
I was immediately in love with the animation on, like the
I
art
was
style
too.
and the animation. The moment I saw it, I'm like, oh, like I think one of the first notes I put in with the art style, I'm like, I can already tell this is about to go crazy.
For some reason,
Yeah,
when I
absolutely
first
loved it.
saw the animation, the only thing that came to mind was Caillou.
Really? Oh, that's
Well-
terrible.
Well,
That's
here's
awful.
let me explain.
How dare you?
Let me explain my
that shows
thought
a crayon
process.
drawing, and this is beautiful.
Let me explain my
This
thought
one's,
process
like,
on
beautiful
why I
ink
thought
painting.
Caillou.
How
It
dare.
wasn't because of the style of animation itself. It was the way the backgrounds were drawn, or lack thereof, where there was some of that white space.
Yeah, because
And
it's supposed
that
to
was-
look like a scroll.
Yeah, and that was kind of the same thing for me with like with Caillou, because I remember like they have like some of the area was animated and colored, and then there was like that white kind of background around like the edges. So that was ultimately why I thought Caillou, and like, but I still fucked with the animation
There's
like
this-
hard.
There's a subreddit called Fuck Caillou, where they just talk about shit about
Why are you talking about my brother like that?
Oh
Damn.
my god!
It's not me, it's Reddit.
Guys, it's funny because he had cancer.
It's funny.
Not Caillou, my brother.
Well, Caillou might too. You don't know. Have you ever watched the show?
Caillou?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back when I was a
Fuck
child.
Caillou. I've never seen it.
No,
Not seen-
Caillou's
not a single
Caillou's a
episode.
little shit.
So I was already kind of used to the scroll art style because back in the day I played the game Okami, which is one of the most amazing games I've ever played, and the entire thing is done in the Japanese water scroll art, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So because of that, I'm really fond of that art style. So as soon as the movie started, basically, I was already in love with it. Plus, when we watched Mononoke, not the princess, that was also scroll art.
Oh yeah, I guess it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, that one was like much less fluid animation
Yeah.
than this one was, but you know, it's definitely. Which didn't they make a new movie, Mononoke?
Yeah, it's in the works.
Oh, okay.
I think it's going to be coming out. I don't know if it's officially out yet.
Yeah, I remember seeing something about it like coming to theaters, but I didn't know if that already passed or not. But
I mean, it might have. I know, like, it was. If it did, it was only in Japan.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie was really cool, and I do absolutely love that art style. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I love the art style. I love the
And
story.
yes, Wiki, you do see titties in scroll art.
Titties.
I did love the story and how, like, I love that it wasn't like a super like action-packed story of like, oh, blood, violence, this, that, and the other. Like, I love how it was just a calm
Well,
tale
yeah,
of
it's a Frenchie assignment.
yeah. Well, yeah,
It's there
that's
to make
fair.
it's there to make you feel things.
Yeah. Well, like I didn't like this wasn't
Plus,
a feel.
plus Gray's here, so he can't be here for an assignment that doesn't make somebody cry.
Like this showed
That is fair. I always have to be around.
this movie wasn't like a in your feels kind of movie per se, but it was a nice movie.
In the end, it was.
Yeah, I think that
in the end, it was.
I
But
think as soon as they moved to the mansion, which is like halfway through, because this is like a 2-hour long movie. I think
2 hours and 16 minutes.
yeah, so like half of the movie has a lot of feels because it really touches on the theme of happiness, and
Yeah.
and because the whole idea of that culture basically is like if you get this thing, you will be happy forever, and that's just not fucking true.
yeah.
You're just having the most simple of life. Just being out there in the forest with the nature and having fun with your friends
Mhm.
is what truly brought her happiness, and she got taken away.
Yep.
Can we also talk real quick about how big a troll Kaguya is for sending those guys to go get these impossible things?
That's not. I wouldn't say
But-
troll. It's like it's a statement to say if you really are comparing to me of these most beautiful items that you've never seen in your life.
No, I get that. It was, but I also find it funny because it's like I appreciate you guys saying this, but also fuck you if that's true. Get me that thing.
Yeah.
Like it's admirable that like that was where her like brain took it. It's just like, oh, you think I'm comparable to these things? Well, then give them to me.
yeah.
You know, like show
Prove that it's not just
Word.
a
yeah, show
flattering
me
words.
how committed you are to this sort of thing, and then just like also finding out how they all tried to like cheated in their own way. The one dude had the branch made.
Well, that one guy really fucking fought the dragon, and he fucking died.
Yeah, one dude died. Another dude died. Like two people died during this.
Like the dragon shit actually ended up being real.
Yeah, that was real. There was just a dragon there, and it killed him.
Like that to me was
dragon. It was just the clouds.
yeah, but
Something dragon looking killed him.
well, there was also
that
like
should look like a
there was-
dragon in the show. I'm gonna call it a dragon.
Yeah, there was something like something in the whirlpool that their boat was like going
It
around.
was
Yeah.
a wave. It was a wave.
Yeah, but
Also, fuck the emperor.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, that shit was real.
Oh yeah,
creepy.
he had a couple rapey vibes.
Yeah, that shit was real
Yeah.
creepy. I hated that. Like,
Yeah.
and just also the fact that like, essentially to get out of it, she just like used her like power or whatever the hell.
That
Like,
was
she
cool.
fucking like ghost stepped
Yeah,
it,
It ended up
basically.
fucking her
Misty
over.
step.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then because of that,
Moon
the
folk
moon was
magic.
like, hold on a second,
This
Yeah.
wouldn't.
I
have
know that
happened-
shit.
See, at that moment, I was, and as she said that now they're coming for me because of that. Like she was grasping for help basically in that
Mhm.
moment, and I got really fucking mad while I was watching it because this wouldn't have happened if her fucking dad would have listened to what she said prior to that and how she didn't want it.
That was going
You
to
know
be
what I
my
mean?
final statement.
If
on the
she,
show.
if he would have just listened and not had the prince, like no, she doesn't want to see you, like blah
Yeah,
blah blah.
it's not
That-
gonna make her happy. It's
It's not.
not gonna be the life that
That
she wants.
moment wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
And if her dad would have like been more, if he would have been blinded by the fact of what he thought was gonna make this woman happy or his daughter, and actually like got the and like opened his eyes a little bit more instead of having tunnel vision towards this idea and being what he thought, what this is what the bamboo wanted,
Yeah,
Little bamboo.
he would have
Bamboo.
realized that his daughter was not okay.
which I will say to that, it is a little understandable from his side. He's definitely not in the right.
You know,
But-
I can
but-
get where he's coming
But
from for sure.
from his mindset, like he even says it himself, this is like heaven sent us this baby, and she came to us in the visage of a princess. So clearly, heaven wants us to raise her as a princess,
And
and,
it-
now heaven gave us a shit ton of gold.
Yeah, I was about to say it literally like poured a bunch of gold to them as well. So
Yeah.
it's like it's a weird thing because you would almost assume that like this heaven that they're speaking of would like want Kaguya's best interest, you know?
Yeah,
And so like obviously money is a good thing to have and stuff like that, you know, and they get, you know, you got the visage and like beauty of a princess and everything.
hmm
But like everything that was gifted to her basically ended up being like to the detriment. You know,
Mhm.
like she had all the robes that she that she liked at first, but then fucking hated wearing all the time because there were just so fucking many of them.
hmm
The gold, you know, provided for like basically made them nobles, and that's when a bunch of her problems started. And then also
when
like,
they could
even
have
the-
used the gold to
even the
improve their
beauty-
lives in the village.
yeah, even the beauty that she was born with ended up being to her fucking detriment because like everyone was freaking out just even trying to see her, let alone like, you know,
Mhm.
fucking marry her and everything like that.
Can
and,
we
and
go ahead?
I was gonna say, and we figure out how a lot of those guys that were trying to marry her already treat either their current wives or their past wives. Like there was the one guy that brought the flower, who was supposed to bring the Buddha
Oh,
bowl.
and he was supposed to have
and-
all this like had this whole speech and everything. And it turns
yeah.
out it said the same thing to his current wife.
Yeah, his current wife comes in and she's like, "Is this just gonna be another girl that you shave her head and you send her to the nunnery?" And I was like, "Whoa, holy shit!" Like that's why her, as Crimson said, trolling them was such a good thing because it really revealed how big of pieces of shit that
Yeah.
all four of them
They're
were.
just like, oh, we're just gonna leave our wives currently.
Yeah,
You know what's also really
well, they were
fucked
all
up?
polygamists anyway. That was just the culture then for
Yeah.
nobility.
Well, you're not even like just like not nobility, but also her childhood friend was just gonna fucking leave his wife and kid
Yeah,
to go.
I was
run
about
away.
to say he was
Yeah,
he
that's
was
true.
he was I guess he was ride or die. He was ready to get the fuck
That
out of
also
there, I guess.
that made me mad as fuck. Cause you was gonna abandon your fucking kid, bro. You're a
Yep.
piece of shit.
yeah, that was shitty.
It's really interesting because like I know a little bit about like the fable, like the story of Princess Kaguya.
Mm-hmm.
Is it actually a thing?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's a Japanese fable.
didn't know that.
And one of the things that happens in the fable that I didn't think there was going to be a good place for it in the movie, the way that it was set up. But from what I remember, she essentially gives who I think the character of whatever the fuck his name is, the guy that was going to leave his wife.
Setumet Bebe.
Yeah,
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 like
exactly.
Sakamoto or something.
Yeah, some shit.
It was like
Uh,
set something.
Yeah,
Sutemeru or something.
Yeah,
like
that
some,
sounds-
some of
that's
that.
that sounds kind of right.
Yeah,
Sutemeru.
something to that.
Best
effect.
friend boy.
Yeah, best friend boy.
Best
the
friend boy.
The character that like in the fable that I'm assuming that guy's based off of, it does kind of the similar thing where like, you know, a bunch of people try to get her hand. She does the tasks and everything like that. They all end up lying or dying or something like that. And even the emperor tries, and she's like, "No, fuck you."
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
But she is in like she ends up falling in love with this guy, best friend boy, and she gives him a tonic essentially of like eternal life, and it's just like, hey, I got to go back to the moon. I don't know when the fuck I'm gonna be. I don't know when the fuck I'm gonna be back.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you drink this, then you can wait for me, and eventually I will return. Doesn't like it'll take a long time probably, but that's what this little fucking tonic is for.
Considering she's gonna forget all of her memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think in the story he doesn't end up taking it and he dies and like she doesn't even realize, so she comes back and everything's just gone.
Mm-hmm.
Or like all the stuff she knew was gone. And yeah, like again, I don't really think that could have fit super well in the story that they were telling, because like especially in the story that they were telling, there's just like no indication that she would ever fucking go back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which just
It seemed like she was a princess of the moon.
yeah,
itself.
which is so weird because it's like I'm assuming the golden guy that's supposed to be like Buddha, right? That was supposed to be the Buddha.
Yeah, he Buddha.
Yeah, he Buddha. And
Buddha.
just like them coming down and like she clearly doesn't want to leave.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I have somewhere in my notes, I think it was like part of my final statement where it's just like this wasn't really a happy ending.
No,
Like
no,
nobody
not at
got
all.
Nope, not at all.
nobody got what they wanted. Like
Yeah.
Kaguya was forced to go back. The family was fucking torn asunder because of said thing.
Mm-hmm.
The dude, you know, whether or not you fucking want to call him a piece of shit for maybe like wanting to leave his wife and stuff like that, he didn't even end up being able to do that.
Because wasn't it all like a dream at the end?
No,
No.
Oh.
no, like
Because I thought he woke up and was just looking around. I was like,
oh, I think that part happened. It's just I think she like left. Like it's the part, like
It's the kind of like in the very beginning of the movie where she left running through the thing and back to her home.
oh, yeah,
when it was
yeah,
all
yeah.
fucked up, and she
Yeah.
was like,
That
blinked and she
animation
back
was
home.
gorgeous.
that fast.
crazy.
Yeah, I loved it when she was running and like all the different kimonos were coming off and there's just the trail
Oh
of
my
them.
god.
And
Yeah.
the fucking art just turned to straight depression.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's just like
Yeah, that was good.
speed and everything like that. It was crazy, but like this, it wasn't a happy story.
Nope.
No,
honestly.
it's a tragedy.
Can we also talk about how I'm stuck on the dad for a second, on how he was also he had the best of intentions, but how much he just shit on his wife all the time.
Since the
Yeah.
beginning, yeah.
Yeah, like,
why-
Because she's like, I'm gonna be helping raising this child, and he's like, No, you're not. This is
I
my
found her.
This is my fucking little princess thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
She's like, fucking bet.
like
Now watch
whenever
as
she
I
was
have
just
the worst voice acting in the whole movie.
whenever she was just trying to fucking
Yeah.
be her own, like be herself and be in the kitchen where
Yeah.
she's comfortable and
Yeah.
feels at home, that she had to leave because of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I watched the first half of the movie with my girl, and we were just talking, and he was like saying, this is what we need to do, we need to go to the Capitol, and she's like, I don't know, and I was like, yeah, of course, because he's a man, he's right, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's
Well,
a joking.
he's
but-
I
also
know,
he's
I know,
also the
but
one who
it's-
pocketed the gold, so what he
but
says
I was
goes
like,
too.
I was like,
Yeah.
that's fucking stupid.
Because here's another thing to think about.
I was like,
uh,
we automatically know you're wrong as the audience,
Yeah, yeah.
that you're not right, and you're just being a fucking cock. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I get what you're saying. It's his perspective.
Yeah, because here's another thing too. What if he could have used the gold to make their lives in the forest better, and maybe if he did do that, the destruction of the forest might have been prevented, or they wouldn't, or the entire village wouldn't have had to leave for 10 years to go somewhere else to like maybe come back 10 years later.
Yeah.
Like they could have just made her life better in a way that actually would have.
Did anybody else get like a weird sense of time too, where it's just like it didn't like when she went back supposedly and was like told like, oh yeah, they all left, they'll be back in like 10 years, and then the dude comes back like presumably a couple of months later. I'm like, did the forest like burn down like the moment she left or something? Like what happened?
There's a lot of weird time skips.
That whole story was 10 years.
Was it?
You know when the time that she saw him get beat up in the alley?
Yeah.
The next scene after that's 3 years later.
Yep.
I remember that, but that, like it's 3 years.
And there was like a 5-year time skip before that.
Yeah.
Was there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. This movie
jumps around
time a lot.
Which makes sense.
It doesn't help that she also has the thing of like just growing up randomly, so like it's hard to even tell how far along we are in the movie by looking at her.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
and once she reached basically like late adolescence, she kind of stayed that appearance.
Yeah, she looked the same
for
throughout
the rest of the movie.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like
Choose your next words wisely.
Well, like I felt as though, like, because again, I have it in my notes where I'm like, I like happy endings and stuff like that, or I like satisfying endings, even if it's not necessarily happy. It's like with Cyberpunk Edge Runners, not a happy ending, but a satisfying ending.
So good.
in its tragedy, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like this movie didn't really have either. Like, the ending obviously wasn't happy, and it didn't really feel the most satisfying to me. Yeah. But at the same time, like, I can't really say that I hated it. I can't really like it. Like,
I wouldn't either.
It gave a sense of just like
it's a pretty abrupt ending.
Yeah, where it just comes out like the part that was the most sad is when like. Which, by the way, fuck that lady for, like, trying to put that robe on her the whole time. Like, let's get you out, let's get you out, let's get you out. Fucking, like, you're going to lose your memory immediately, and, fuck you, basically.
Yep.
Not like you built a whole life here or nothing like that. Mm-hmm. And then, so, like, the robe, like, takes away her memories and everything, and she fucks off. But there's, like, the part where, like, because it kind of represented by, like, the colors going, like, black and white. And it like the color kind of returns a bit. And she turns around and like looks at the earth as they're headed back into the moon, and like you can just kind of see the sadness. And then it goes back to black and white, and she forgets. And I'm just like, oh well, thanks. That was a nice kick in the dick at 7:00 this morning. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Before I forget that. The handmaiden, the handmaiden chick that followed Kaguya around like most of the movie, that was like her right hand like chick.
The little girl,
the short one.
The short like kind of
I
stockier
love
one.
her, bro.
Best girl. She was packing at the end. She's like, no one's taking her away.
Bro, she heat though. I loved her.
Best
so
character.
She genuinely loved Kaguya.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that was her homie.
That was her ride or die, and I loved it.
What was her fucking name? Hold on.
That's a great question. I don't think they ever said it.
No, not her. Not
that's
her
best
name.
Friend girl.
I'm thinking of someone else now. Since we're talking about like handmaids and stuff like that, Lady Sagami.
Oh, you mean Lucy Liu?
Is that who that is?
That's who the voice actor was.
Oh, yeah, fuck her.
Yeah.
Fuck that bitch. I literally have fuck Lady Sagami. All my homies hate Lady Sagami.
Who was Lady Sagami?
The one who was training Kaguya to be a proper like princess.
Yeah.
Trying to like dye her teeth
tutor.
black and
that shit's gross.
That is gross. And,
creepy as fuck.
And then
again, it's a culture thing.
Well, what if I want to smile? And it's like, princesses don't fucking smile.
Princesses are depressed all the time.
Walk around like, oh, princesses don't do that. They just like
shuffle on
their knees. I'm
it's
like, that
graceful.
Can't be comfortable.
No, it's absolutely not.
Destroy
their knees. Yeah.
I was like, we already have bad knees.
I'm about to say we got them calf.
I guarantee you, as soon as I stand up, my knees are gonna pop.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I heard that.
Damn. That's crazy.
But yeah, this The show does
Ouch.
a really good job of showing the kind of depressing aspect of that culture that has, and in many ways, even culture today still kind of mirrors that about how people are so kind of obsessed with just the feeling of happiness that it doesn't really matter what they have to do just for the like potential
Of
to be
being happy. Yep.
and the like idea that if you have this, I'll be happy, and not only will I be happy, but I'll be happy forever if I can just have this mansion, if I could just have the chance to marry this person, if I can just have the chance to have this stuff and that stuff. And this show has just a really good way of showing like that stuff won't make you happy, and there are some people who know that right off the bat, like Kaguya, and there's some people that really just need to go through that and figure that out and realize that that will not make you happy, like her dad had to do.
Dude, when she told her dad, he's like, "I will marry this emperor if that's something that will bring you happiness to be the court something." And once you've gone that cap, I will kill myself.
Yeah.
I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, I literally cried when she said that. That fucking hurt.
Yeah. It's like it's such a cool thing too, because like that movie came out in 2013. And the Fable is way older, like
Yeah.
the Fable's been around forever.
Yeah.
And the fact that like even to this day we still kind of fall under the trap of like, oh, once I get this thing, then I'll be happy, or
Yep.
once I achieve this thing,
If I have this status.
if I have this status, if I achieve this goal, if I get this expensive whatever the fuck, like I'll be happy. Like even to this day, it's like it's so weird to kind of realize that humans are just like
In an endless cycle.
just in like endless cycle, yes, but like just creatures of like needing more essentially, or like needing they talk a lot about like you see it a lot. It's a weird thing in like rap where like a rapper will become famous and they'll talk about like, oh, like I kind of miss being poor, honestly.
Yeah.
At least that shit was like fulfilling
Yep.
and stuff. Like every day was a struggle, but at least you like felt weirdly fulfilled at the end of it.
Yep.
And even something like that kind of applies to that. It's like fucking Kaguya had whatever she wanted, essentially. They had all that fucking money. She could have married any like high professional. She could have married the fucking emperor, for crying out loud.
But she didn't.
But she didn't want to because, well, like,
she would have been
thankfully
a
she had some-
slave, basically.
Yeah, she would have had some moral fucking standards. But like, but that's the thing is that there's people out there that would do that thing.
Yeah.
They would absolutely just immediately to try to feel some sort of happiness.
Even though their whole life would just be literally sitting around a mansion and then maybe
doing sweet FA.
being fucked by this guy that she probably doesn't have any actual feelings for, and
Yep.
he doesn't really have any feelings for her.
Just
thinks
wants
that,
the family name to continue
Yep.
yeah,
the lineage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just fucking.
because the emperor just sees all of his wives as things, like they're just pretty faces.
Yeah, like-
and once
like
I'm done
emperors-
fucking you,
Emperors
I'll
never
find
had
another.
wives; they had concubines.
Yeah.
you
Yep.
know, like they
Yeah.
never. I don't think they ever officially got married to anybody. It was just like a set of like women, however many it was, that he would just fuck constantly and like make little
Make heirs.
yeah, little heirs, little soon-to-be emperors and empresses, like, and it's so interesting to see that like a fable that was turned into a movie that was then watched 10 years after or 11 years after the movie came out still holds up. The message still holds up.
Yep.
It's all just sad.
Yeah.
And also how it shows that not only do we do that to ourselves where we chase that happiness at all costs, but we can also project that onto our children, where it's like, oh,
because that was a thing. It was like
Well, it's
the,
like, oh.
the bamboo cutter, like the father, like he didn't seem like necessarily unhappy with his life situation when he found Kaguya, but like the moment, like, oh, we have the little princess, and like now we have a bunch of robes, and now we have a bunch of money, is immediately like, all right, we're shooting for the top, baby. Like we're gonna do everything. We're gonna be the happiest family, and you're gonna be the happiest princess ever. And it just kind of like, I don't want to say it came out of nowhere. Like is kind of like what you were talking about earlier. Just like that status was just like,
It's the price of fame.
Yeah, well, like that status is what everybody wanted, you know, like, or at
It's
least
like-
what everybody thought. That
It's
they
like a
wanted.
failed high school sports athlete that could have been big or whatever. That was a
Yes.
or whatever.
Yep.
Yep.
And that tries to push that shit on not just sports but anything. Like I wanted to be really good at this, and I couldn't succeed, but I'm gonna make sure my fucking child and just pushes it down their fucking throat constantly.
Mhm.
Like Your Lie in April.
I was
with
just
their mom.
about to say Your Lie in April.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep,
Like shit
that's
like that.
100%.
Exactly right.
Like projecting their idea of what they wanted so much on their child.
Yeah. This was a great movie. I definitely think everybody should watch this movie to kind of get that ideology, like the ideology of just what human nature is, will continue to be, and kind of like the cycle of what the world is.
And
It's-
also, like, if you don't give a fuck about like that message, the animation, the art style, fucks so
They're just so
hard.
Titties.
It's
yeah.
worth
Titties.
watching just for that. Honestly.
I'm gonna suckle on that nipple.
Or you could be Wiki and wanting to suck on some nips.
Yeah, or you could just have the one-track mind, and the whole 2 hours you're just thinking about those first like 5 minutes. Like,
Damn, I
man, there
saw
was a
that titty.
right there. It was crazy.
It was changed my life.
I
And you
It was
never saw you never saw another one again.
Oh.
That's funny. I'm glad you guys liked it.
yeah, no, this movie slapped.
Yeah,
You're welcome
it
for
was really good.
me suggesting it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, totally.
I'm gonna write down my scores real
yeah.
quick.
In terms of the message of the movie about chasing material happiness and how it just doesn't work,
Yeah.
it makes me think of a Bible verse to bring it to that. But as Jesus said, "For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world but forfeits his life?"
Ooh.
Interesting.
And
The motherfuckers were spitting.
Yep.
They were spitting.
Yep.
Jesus be spitting bars.
Jesus be spitting.
If
Hey, yo,
there's-
someone get Jesus on the mic.
if there's one thing Jesus did, he was spitting bars.
He was spitting. Plus, that whole dying resurrection thing was kind of cool. But this motherfucker had bars, though.
yeah.
Hold on.
Oh my God.
Is that sacrilegious? Nah.
No,
Probably
Probably not.
Absolutely not. And,
Saying that
that-
Jesus had bars.
yeah,
Should have got him in the studio.
Those are just facts. And his bars were so great that after he died and came back, he gave a few more.
He had a couple more bars. It's like, hold on a second. Y'all let me
Yeah.
y'all let me sleep for 3 days. Let
Yeah.
me come back with some more shit.
Yeah,
Let me cook.
the tomb
Let
said,
him
"Wait,
cook.
I'm gonna let you finish," and then he came back and finished.
Yep.
Shall we get into ratings then, gentlemen? I know Wiki's
Jesus
working on
said he was
his
done.
currently.
He's almost done.
Gray, do you want to?
Yeah, sure.
Start?
I can go. Absolutely. Let me just pull out my big ever fucking continuing constant
Whoa.
list.
I also have a big, huge, continuous list.
Yeah. Oh no, but I have
Man,
like
man,
I
look
have
at-
in my
look
notes
at the-
section just
oh my
like
God,
the
look at the
weekly
size
Weebs
of that
podcast
list.
Oh,
section.
yeah.
So big.
And it's just basically it's this
It's
every
a-
time
it's a
I've been
book.
on here. Every time I've been on here I've just put stuff in it and it's just
Jesus Christ.
every single like every word I ever talked about any of the anime episodes, the topics or anything like that, it's just all in there and it's just a
that
God
that's-
damn.
fuck.
that's
We don't go
that-
that ham.
that's one of the big reasons why I like having you as part of these reviews, because you
Oh
actually
yeah, I just have a bunch of like I
There's an emoji.
yeah, oh yeah, I throw a couple in there.
Can I see someone's calculator when they get a second?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, like even when because I watched most of this movie, like I worked like fucking 15 hours yesterday, so I passed the fuck out, and I just didn't
Fair.
have time like during the week, so I just happened to wake up early, and I was just like, cool, I'll just watch this movie real quick before I go. But yeah, I always try, and also just because
'Cause our
I'm
job
I'm a
sucks.
forgetful motherfucker in general, so it's not even like a trying to be thorough or nothing like that.
Sorry, you were having some mic issues.
Oh, was I? Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
cutting in and out.
Yeah, it's not even a thing of necessarily being like thorough. It's just like I will straight up fucking forget if I don't write all this shit down.
Oh, that's fair. That's
Because like
fair.
this is all Kaguya, like all of that stuff
Yeah.
is just for this movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, I do personal enjoyment last. Still, I will continue to do so.
Hey,
Um,
Continue.
no problem with that.
Animation, I gave a 10. was never a drop in quality. It was perfectly smooth and crisp.
Mm-hmm.
It was a movie. I didn't figure that there was going to be an issue with that anyways, but it's just like it's just nice to see that like from the beginning to the end, it was just that good the whole time.
Yep.
Character development, I gave a 9. You end up feeling terrible for almost all the main characters. None of them really get the ending they were hoping for, and you can really just feel that. Especially in those last couple of scenes where it's just like, fuck, bro, this sucks. The soundtrack, I gave a 7. You'll never see me rocking this on a playlist, but it's soothing and perfect for the movie.
Yep.
Like, you know, you'll never hear me pull up the fucking Princess Kaguya OST on my Spotify. But like for the movie that we were watching, like it was damn good.
Yeah.
It was perfectly put. World building, I gave a 7. The movie does a good job showing the world and its people, particularly
Oh,
in their relationship
your
to
mic
Kaguya.
totally cut out there.
Oh shit.
I don't know what's up with that.
Just hold this a little close. Yeah, if I can be real sensual.
Move it
about
up and down.
Just fucking.
Ah!
Ow, my eardrums.
Yeah, I'll just hold that close. For anybody who missed it, I gave it world building a 7 just in case. The plot I gave an 8. It kind of felt like the ending came way quicker than it should have, but I don't hate it. Like many tragedies, they hit in an instant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where it's just like immediately she was like, "Well, they found me. I got about like 5 days before they picked my ass up, and then 5 days later they just came and picked her ass up, and they just fucking left. Then there was just nothing really that they could do about it.
Hey, the moon folk are nothing if not efficient.
Damn right, they were not fucking kidding around. The voice acting I gave a 6. There were definitely some odd parts, and the father as a whole was not great. But I've definitely heard worse.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was about the dad, but just like his delivery was real weird.
I mean,
on a lot of his lines.
I thought he was fine, but like just fine.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I like I said, I've heard way worse.
Yeah.
I'll still never forgive World's Finest Assassin for that absolute atrocity of a voice acting cast. I'll never forgive you fuckers for making me watch it.
Man, I forgot about that show.
Oh,
until
dude,
you
I
said
was
it.
reading back through like some of them while we were just talking, and I remember I'm like, what's the lowest one I have? And I'm like, it was like a 47 for World's Finest Assassin. I'm like,
whoa, I can't even remember if I would even agree that show deserves that.
No, it was ass, bro. I would have given it lower. I should have given it lower.
Crimson, can you pull up our scores for that? Great.
They're already ready to go.
So, World's Finest Assassin, our average was a 68.
Wow.
He gave it the highest with a 72.
Wow.
You gave it a 64. Frenchie gave it a 68. I gave it a 67.
So we liked it way more than graded.
I remember that episode. I was telling a friend of mine about like this podcast, and I showed them the episode where I had like that 30-minute like tangent, like rant about how much I fucking hated this anime.
I don't even remember what it's about.
It's an isekai.
Yeah,
about
47. That's the one I gave.
It was a guy that was an assassin, and then once he gets betrayed by like his assassin order.
It was ass, and it wasn't worth it.
And then there was like a goddess that reincarnates him, and he's like an OP isekai guy.
All that time spent.
His
Gray also just doesn't like isekais.
That's true too. His whole point, like his mission in this other world, was specifically to kill the hero because it was like prophesied that the hero would be evil or like he was a dickbag or something.
Yeah.
He was either a hero or a dickbag. You can't be both.
Show.
Yeah.
Art style.
Oh,
is
you
a 10.
definitely can be both.
Yeah, that's fair. Continue.
Art style is a 10.
Yes.
Yes.
Studio Ghibli has always excelled in animation. This movie is no different. It's so beautiful and unique in the way that it does.
Mm-hmm.
Like Studio Ghibli has kind of like a set style to it.
Yes.
And this is not
And
that,
this is not that, and they still fucking nailed it out of the park.
Yeah.
They still killed that shit.
Skibbity.
That just shows talent.
That just shows good motherfuckers on that team.
That's so Sigma.
Uniqueness, I gave it. Uniqueness, I gave a 9. While the story itself is a retelling of a famous fable, the presentation is so unique to every other animation that I've ever seen that it deserves high praise for it, regardless.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, it's a story that's been around forever. It's not unique in that way at all. But goddamn, if the presentation isn't just carrying this shit.
Yeah, I agree.
In terms of uniqueness. Recommendability, I gave an 8. If you want to experience the story of Princess Kaguya, I really can't imagine a better way to do it, even through being like told. It's just truly an incredible effort of animation and storytelling. Like, it's just good. In personal enjoyment, I give a 7. I'm a sucker for happy and satisfying endings. Even if the ending is not necessarily happy, it is like, if it is satisfying, I will still say I had a great time. This story did not have either of those. The princess is forcibly taken from her home. A family is torn apart by a force that they could never fight. It feels like it comes out of nowhere, even if you know that it's coming. You know, because like you said, if you know the fable, you know she goes up to the moon eventually.
Right.
But I can't say that I hate it. Do I wish it had a happy ending? Yes. Am I fine with how it ended anyway? Also yes. For a grand total of 81.
Nice.
Respect.
That is respect.
Take it.
Okay.
I'm going to start with personal enjoyment first, and I'm not going to stop. Personal enjoyment. I have a 9. I seriously enjoyed this show, and especially all the little like things about it in terms of what we were talking about with the underlying meanings of happiness and stuff, and just the tale it was telling. I really enjoyed. I only dropped at a point is because it was just slow. It was a slow burn.
Yep.
A slow burn for a 2-hour movie, and of the what I have to say about the voice acting later.
Where are my kaiju fights?
Yeah.
Dude, they have a fight every episode. What the fuck?
They're on your iPad.
You missed it.
Are on their iPads, bro.
Animation, I give it 10. For what the style of the show was, the animation couldn't have been more perfect. Character development, I give it a solid 10, mainly because not only do we see the development of some small characters you see in the past, and just Kaguya going from a happy child to just the turmoil of growing up and not becoming happy, and then you see the character development of the dad just being mad to trying to be a loving dad, but also it end up fucking over, and then him going back down the thing, realizing he fucked up, saying he wants to make her happy, but then also and then with the mom too, like just seeing her being like loving, and then you can tell, in my opinion, that all the characters that we've seen developed in some form or way that was very meaningful to what the story was telling. Soundtrack I gave a 7. World building I gave a 9. I gave it pretty high. Not only we saw the village, we saw the capital city, and we saw that there was moon people.
Yes.
And kind of the history. We understand that what the moon people are. They're just moon people, and it looked like from what we can infer is that they're religious beings.
Yeah.
From seeing Buddha.
Yeah, they're like some type
and
of divinity.
That we know if they put on the robe that they lose all memories of their time on Earth, so they're separated if they were to go. They're not supposed to go to Earth. We know that. But they can go to Earth somehow.
Jesus ended up on the moon.
That we went to the mountain. We learned how that
that might be sexual.
we learned that
It wasn't Lance
back in that
Armstrong, it was
time,
Jesus.
that when they were in
gonna
the
plant
mountains,
the American flag
that
here,
they
but how did this cross get here first?
ever so often they have to leave the place that they live because they're running out of resources and have to go on a journey to another place to make sure that they can keep living their life. So like, oh, we cut down all these trees, we have to wait 10 years to come back. Like, that's a real thing. And they added that in, and it just shows that they do that. That they had to do that in the world, and that we learned in the capital how a princess should act and all that stuff, and how that whole royalty thing works, and you get to see that in action. And not only we got to see that people travel the world and see a fake dragon.
Yeah.
Plot I gave a 9. Voice acting I gave a 4. I did not like it, but I don't know if it's because I feel like there was like some really good moments in there, but to me it just got dragged down because of the art style and animation. Like they just didn't match, and it just fucked with me the entire show, movie. I don't know what it is. I just wasn't a fan.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say voice acting is probably the weakest part of it.
Art style I gave a 10. Uniqueness I gave an 8, and recommendability I gave an 8 for a total of 84.
Yeah, buddy. Alright, so for me, personal enjoyment was an 8. I definitely like this movie a lot. It's not perfect. Kind of what you were saying, Gray. It doesn't have like a perfect ending. I don't necessarily need things to be happy, because as a person who just loves story in general of all kind. I don't really care what the emotional aspect or subject matter is, as long as it's compelling. And the ending is like abrupt. And yeah, it's not perfect, but I liked this a lot. Animation, I gave a 10. Just the way everything moves is fluid. It's like the scroll has come to life.
It's literally like you're reading a scroll and you have to turn it.
Yeah.
Like it did in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, "Fuck that," and then just pushed the whole thing.
Yeah, which I loved that.
Now it's really rolling.
Yeah.
Rolling.
Character development, I gave an 8. I really feel like you could feel the personal journeys that each member of the family went, and even the people around them.
Mm-hmm.
Soundtrack, I gave an 8. I felt that the music within the movie was very beautiful. I agree, Gray. I'm probably not going to add it to my Spotify playlist, but
Yeah.
but while I was here, I definitely loved it.
Yo, listen to this track, fucking
Yeah.
Kaguya going off to the moon.
Jesus
whoever
Christ.
whoever I'm with just rips the aux cord.
What the fuck is this? Right after that, some Chief Keef.
Yeah. World building, I gave a 9. It was very fleshed out.
Mm-hmm.
We really got a sense of the world that we lived in. I felt. Plot, I gave an 8. Voice acting, yeah, I gave that a 5. I didn't think it was bad. I just thought it was purely okay. It's like very middle of the road, and I feel like when I was watching it, it does sound kind of not right sometimes, but I feel like because of the style, because it was like a scroll. Mononoke had a similar thing as this, where the voice acting was like kind of weird, and I feel like in both aspects, they speak almost as if it's like a play.
Yes.
Not necessarily like a movie or a show, but it really everything feels like they're on a stage, and
Yep.
And that's how it sounds to me. That's the voice acting was, even that considered, it was still just okay, but I do feel like it, I guess, fit the style. Which, speaking of style, art style, 10. Gorgeous. This movie's beautiful.
Water style.
Ink style.
Donkey.
What?
Uniqueness, I gave a 9. The only things I really have to compare this to are things like Mononoke and Okami, and story-wise, there's really nothing I have to compare it to. So other than the actual fable it was based off of, but so yeah, I'd say that this is very unique. And then recommendability, I give a 7. I think there are a lot of people that would enjoy the show or this movie. I wouldn't say that this movie is like for everybody. Definitely not iPad kids.
Yeah.
Total is 81. Although those iPad kids might enjoy seeing that titty.
Yeah,
At
for
the
like,
beginning.
It'll be the only
especially
titty
since
they'll
it
ever
shows
see.
up real
Yeah.
quick. They'll be like, "Hell yeah, got done," and they just leave the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Sees titty, immediately finishes.
Yeah, just ready to go.
There's no kaiju fights, and there's only one titty, and it's in
What
the beginning.
the fuck, bro?
Do we see titties in the kaiju fights?
That's true. We
That
don't see
is-
any
yeah.
titties.
No, we do.
Oh.
Kafka pees out his nipples.
All right.
He does. That's a fact. Yeah,
Yeah.
he does.
Yeah.
It's a personal enjoyment for me. I gave an 8. I really did like
Great
this movie.
transition.
I did really like this movie. I thought it was really well done. Animation, 9. I loved it. I thought the animation was fantastic. Character development, I also gave character development a 9 because it does show, like, we really get to feel and see how Kaguya develops from being ultimately like a fallen goddess to a human.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really cool tale of how she goes about that way and sees, how the real world is and everything. And they did a great job with it. Soundtrack gave a 7. I thought it fit really well for the movie. Wouldn't be blaring it in my car, but it was good. World building 10. I think they did an excellent job with creating the world and creating the environment and what feudal Japan for this story was. And I think they did a fantastic job implementing it. Plot, I gave a 9. I thought the story itself, it was slow. Yes, it's a very slow burn. But the story itself is told very well, and it's told beautifully. VA performance, I gave a 6. I think that's going to be the lowest that I could give VA performance because Chloe Grace Moretz was the voice of Kaguya, and I thought she did actually a very good job with her. Lucy Liu did a good job. The other voice actors, I think they did good, even though it did seem like it was a play. But with that said, like, it still fit fairly well. It could have been better. My phone there we go. Art style, I gave a 10. Gorgeous. Enough said. Uniqueness, 10. I think it's unique enough with its art style and animation alone to make it super unique, and not to mention with it being like even though the story may have been told different ways in the past and everything, with the way that the art and animation was for this telling of it, it really changed how the story was told. Recommendation, I gave a 7. I think a good chunk of people will like this. I don't think iPad kids will like it. So total for me is 86, which brings our average for right now, excluding Frenchie's review, it brings it to an 84.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I could give you guys the the use of the word iPad kid.
Yeah, that's great.
It was really Ohio Skibbity.
Ah, that's what it was.
Oh, there was a joke title I was going to give this show, but I almost forgot, and I'm glad I remembered before the episode ended. Bamboo Sama, Love is War.
I love
That's awesome.
I love that so much.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Thank you.
Please do that.
Bamboo Sama, love is.
Please do that.
I'll title it as that.
Oh, yeah. That's how I remember fucking Shinomiya's name from Kaiju.
Oh yeah, there
I'm
you
just
go.
like, oh yeah, like Kaguya.
Also, fuck 100 Girlfriends. Just wanted to say that now that Crimson's here.
Okay.
Yeah, that show sucked.
That show was
Is it?
wild.
That show sucked.
I haven't seen anything about
so
it.
bad.
I've actually kind of heard like decent things about it.
Somebody lied to you.
What the show had potential to
Thank
actually
y'all
do
for
something
coming.
good
That
with
was
it,
the
and then it just didn't.
episode. I hope you have a good
Damn,
day.
you hate when that happens. You
What's
hate
the
when that
anime
shit-
assignment
Goodbye.
again?
What?
What's the anime assignment again?
Oh, Undead Unlock.
Undead Unluck. You can find it on Hulu.
I love you guys so much, but I gotta go get my phone fixed.
Love you too, bye.
Bye bye.